Hello and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Here is how HBAR can reach $1 or more in the next bull run. Okay guys, I have this tweet here from Compare Market Cap, and I thought this was something that I would share with you guys because, as I've said to you before, one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of frustration coming with HBAR holders is the current price action, right? Already dealt with this before in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into that right now. But I just thought I'd show you this to give you just something to think about and maybe some optimism for the future. So it says here from Compare Market Cap, if HBAR reaches top 10 most market cap of last bull season, its price would be $1.03. That makes a 17x in terms of return. So I got thinking about this, right? And Hedera came out in 2019, I believe, 2018, 2019. So it's actually only seen one bull season, right? And the reason why that's quite important in regards to this is because the way a bull run works in regards to crypto is the more value that keeps getting put into the crypto, the less multiplier effect it will have in the next bull season, right? So if we just go to Bitcoin being the most obvious example, Bitcoin doesn't keep on making the same type of multiplier effect every bull season, right? So let's say at first it'll go up like 50,000%, then the next time it might go up like 42,000%, then the next time it might be 30,000%, then the next time it might be 18,000%, right? It keeps going lower and lower because the more value that goes into Bitcoin, the more it takes to raise up the price, right? Because there's more value within it. And so when you think about it from the perspective of HBAR, well, it's only seen one bull season. So it's only had one multiplier effect. So there's still a lot more room within HBAR to have a big multiplier effect as compared to some other cryptos that have been in quite a few bull runs, right? And so I'm thinking about that, and I'm also thinking about the fact that the next bull run, I think you'll see a lot more institutions getting involved, right? I'm not saying I think it'll be the biggest in terms of the end game because I'm not sure if regulations are going to be here yet, so I do think that will play a factor. I think when regulations are actually finished and all sorted out, I do think that will probably be the biggest bull run we have, and that will probably be like the final bull run we have, where after that prices probably won't have as big a multiplier effects because once the institutions get involved, it's pretty much going to become like the stock market. Like crypto won't be as volatile because there'll be so many institutions putting money in that there'll be so much value within the crypto market that it will take a lot more money flowing in to really move the prices, right? So if you think about the stock market, in the stock market, if a stock goes down like say 2%, like that's a real bad day to them, right? In crypto, like a bad day is more like, 20%, 30%, that kind of thing. We see that kind of stuff, and that's where we're like, oh, whoa, that was crazy. Whereas in the stock market, it's a lot more stable, right? And so that's what will happen to the crypto market eventually, because the amount of money that will be in the crypto market, I'm not saying it's going to be exactly the same, but it will be a higher value, right? And that's why the crypto market right now is so volatile, because there's way less money in the crypto market. So doesn't take as much liquidity to really move the market. So when I'm thinking about that, the fact that institutions will be involved in the next market, I think there's going to be quite a lot of value going into the crypto space, right? And so let's think about HBAR just in terms of what it does, like utility wise, right? We know the amount of things that HBAR can do. We know the partnerships that Hedera has. We know the governing council that they have. We know all the positive things that developers say about using the network, right? So there's a lot of things to say in regards to an institution if they were looking at cryptos that they wanted to buy up for whatever reason, like custody services or something like that, or just want to use it for utility purposes, right? Whatever the reason. Well, you would think that HBAR is going to be one of the coins that we'll look at, right? That would make sense because the amount of things and the amount of use cases that HBAR has, it would be, to me, a no-brainer that this is one of the cryptos that you would want to scoop up. So when I'm starting to think about that kind of thing, a 17x in the crypto space, it really doesn't sound that unachievable to me. Like, that doesn't sound very unrealistic to me. I think it could potentially go higher. Now, I'm not here to give price predictions because the truth of the matter is I don't know. No one else knows. We're all speculating. So I'm not going to be here to try and deceive you guys or anything like that. I don't know where it can go. But when I'm just thinking of all these factors that will play a part in where HBAR can go, do I think it could generate more than a 17x in the next bull run? I would think so. In my head, I would expect that. You know, like I do think in the next bull run that I would personally expect it to exceed $1, to be honest, I would. Now, I'm not sure exactly how much higher I'm going to say it's going to go. And like I say, I'm not here to give price predictions. But do I think it can exceed $1? Yeah. And that's a 17x, guys. So that's still showing you that there's a great opportunity here with HBAR. And the criteria to make that 17x, it's not really that hard. Right? The barrier is not that high when you think of all the circumstances that I've just told you, all the factors that could come into play. It doesn't seem that hard for HBAR to make a 17x in my opinion, which is why I do think it can exceed it. I really do. So to me, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, I mean, we already know that we've got the catalyst that I did a video on not long ago as to what could start the bull run, which is the Bitcoin ETF getting approved. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but the SEC have got until January to give a decision on one ETF application. And then you've got BlackRock's, which I think is going to be the most important because they have such a low failure rate. Like they've literally only had like one ETF application be declined. And I think it was more of an amendment rather than an actual failure. So it's not like it just got rejected and that was it. They just had to amend some details and then put it back through. And I believe it got accepted from there. So they really haven't had a failure rate at all. So I think theirs is March. So the SEC have got until March next year to approve or decline BlackRock's application for the spot Bitcoin ETF. And so the likelihood of that getting rejected, I think, is minimal. I mean, the SEC already lost a lawsuit with Grayscale in regards to rejecting their spot ETF application because they didn't really give any guidance as to how to proceed to actually get it approved. And so they're now actually having to make more of an effort to speak with these companies to show them what they actually need to do to get their applications approved. And it actually has been said by, I believe it was Kathy Woods, and she's actually saying now that the SEC are actually having conversations now. They're actually making that effort to actually speak with companies and explain like, this is what we need, this is what you need to do. So it seems that they're coming around and they've actually seen the inevitable situation that this is going to have to happen. And they're actually now trying to help people get this sorted. So it's looking very likely that the ETF by some company or maybe many companies are going to be approved next year, and that's very early next year. And I do think that is going to kick off a lot of positive price action. So when I think about all these things in play, I think, man, like, yeah, this is looking real positive for me in regards to HBAR. So I thought I'd just show you that, guys, because I found it really interesting. And then I've just got this one other thing because, again, I know everybody's frustrated with price right now, but I've got a post here from the HBAR of Wall Street. And I just thought this was very relevant. And, you know, I've already discussed price in a previous video, so I've addressed it on my end as well. But I just thought I'd show you this too, because I think this is the kind of thing that people need to see, right? So got this post here and it goes like this. People might be a little disappointed with price action of HBAR in recent weeks, and some even call it a stablecoin. But have you ever thought that Hedera has probably one of the best technologies in the market, is one of the projects with the most partnerships, is governed by top Fortune 500 companies globally, constantly trending on social media platforms, has one of the biggest communities, has some of the best founders and team, is the fastest, cheapest, greenest and most secure network out there? I'm telling you, something big has been planned for HBAR. When it happens, it will shock everyone. Okay, so I'm going to take out the last part in terms of something big is planned for HBAR because nobody really knows in terms of that. So I'm not going to try and go down that road. But I think all the points that he's made there are very relevant, right? Because everybody's looking at HBAR now because of price. But let's look at everything that was just said there in regards to Hedera and HBAR. All of that stuff stands and is relevant, right? And so when people are frustrated, I do get it, because when you look at Hedera as a company, you will think, well, why are other companies performing better? Because Hedera has so much going for it, right? I completely understand that. I do. And I'll be honest, yeah, it is a bit frustrating when you think, well, we're with this amazing company and they've got this amazing technology and everybody's singing its praises and saying how great the network is and whatnot. Why isn't it being reflected in the price? But one of the things I will say is, this is a utility token. And the reason why I say that is because when it comes to utility, we're not in a utility market right now. We're not. We're in a speculative market. And the proof that you need to tell you that we're in a speculative market is that you can see a coin like Pepe coin that absolutely rallies off, right? Shiba Inu rallies off. These coins don't have no purpose when they're first created. They're meme coins, right? And so, yes, that is frustrating. I understand that, because you're seeing a coin that does nothing make way more profits than the coin that actually has some kind of purpose and has amazing technology. But this is the thing, what you've got to understand. I've said this before and I will say it again. If you want to just invest in like meme coins and stuff like that and try your luck, that's fine. But you've just got to understand that you're essentially gambling. You're literally just basically buying a lottery ticket, right? Now, maybe you will get lucky. Maybe you'll invest in the right meme coin and it really does take off. But you've got to understand some of the things that can come with that. You could get rug pulled. You could invest in something that doesn't take off. You could invest in a coin where you've actually made the money, but there's not enough liquidity in the token to actually be able to get the actual monetary value out of it. Right? So there's all these scary factors that come with investing in those kind of coins. And that's just not to mention that there's many meme coins that don't make it, right? So for this one Pepe coin that's taken off, there's probably like hundreds of coins out there that are also meme coins that never took off. Right? Like I've seen so many meme coins being thrown my way. Like SpongeBob token, Patrick token, Simpsons token, like all these just random tokens where people are just trying their luck. They're just making meme coin tokens, hoping that the popularity of the name of whatever brand it is will carry them to make money. And not all of them take off. It really is just luck of the draw. And so this is the problem. When you're investing in things like that, yeah, it's just a hit and hope. The thing for me with Hedera is that I'm invested and I feel comfortable that I will just make money over time. I've got no concerns that it's going to go anywhere. Now, even if you want to compare it to coins like Solana, okay, cool. But Solana has had its issues, right? I've heard that they've had like network hacks. I've heard before that they've had issues with centralization. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not someone who's done a lot of research on Solana, so I'm not going to just make out like these are absolute facts. There could be more to them if I was to look into it properly. I haven't. But the point is, when you're looking at Hedera, everything that we've seen, it all shows you that it's a network that is growing and that will, to me, be valuable in the future. So, to me, this is kind of like delayed gratification, right? And that's just the way it is sometimes with crypto. I think a lot of people look at crypto and they think it's the quick way out. And it's actually not. It's really not. For a lot of people who are thinking, these coins are rallying off. Hey, we've been in a bear market for like 2-3 years. It's not all been great. It's not always that straightforward. It's not you just pick a coin and you just make yourself millions. It's really not. This is still investing. It's just that when you're in crypto, it's way more volatile than the stock market. So you've got a higher percentage to make life-changing money. But you should still really be doing your research and stuff like that, especially with crypto because it's not regulated. So there are people who can take advantage of you. There are people who can end up committing fraud a lot easier. There are people who can rug pull you. But when I look at Hedera, I look at a proper company who have really done everything they can do to present themselves above board and show you that they want to be here in the future. And that's why I feel comfortable in the end, because I just think, okay, I may have to wait longer than other cryptos, but I believe long term it's coming. So do I think HBAR can exceed $1 in the next bull run? I think so personally. Whether that will happen, we will see. But in my head, that doesn't seem too hard to fathom. I think even from a realistic grounded perspective, I think it could beat $1 in the next bull run. That's my personal opinion. But we'll see where it goes. But what do you guys think? HBAR exceeding $1. Do you think this is possible? If you do think it's possible, do you think it will be in the next bull run? Or do you not think it's possible? Do you have any reason as to why you don't think it could hit that kind of price? Or do you just think it's going to take longer than the next bull run for it to accomplish that? Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'll be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.